Energy is undergoing big change, and if you're a player in the oil and gas industry, you'll want to hear from our next guest. OVS Group provides integration and automated workflow solutions, and they optimize assets using their unique software architecture called One Virtual Source. Here to tell us more about it is the OVS Group President, Larry Denver. Larry, welcome to Talk Business 360.
Oh, well, thank you for having us.
So, Larry, let's start here. What are some of the significant trends we're seeing in the energy industry today?
I'd say the most significant trend is the recent focus on unconventional plays. Unconventionals are shales, which is a type of rock that has never been a drilling target because the oil and gas just doesn't flow out of them naturally. It wasn't until recent breakthroughs in horizontal drilling and new completions methods that we've been able to produce from these plays. And as a measure of the impact, the U.S. has just experienced the largest annual increase in production in our history. And we're now talking about potential energy independence within the next 10 years. So this is great news for the U.S. and the global consumers, but it has created an enormous new challenge in terms of data volume. And what's so unusual about these plays is their geographical extent and the number of wells required. The larger liquids plays like the Bakken in North Dakota will require tens of thousands of wells across dozens of counties. This is unfolding into an exponential increase in data volume, which is also driving up the number of wells managed per engineer.
It's a lot of data for engineers and petroleum technical professionals to handle. Too much, in fact. How does One Virtual Source address this problem?
Well, we've approached it by rethinking completely the architecture and the processes necessary to tackle that challenge. Traditionally, software applications in the industry require all relevant data to be loaded into each of the applications. This is always very time-consuming and really expensive. To avoid it, we've focused on creating live links to all of the existing databases and data streams. By doing so, our clients are not required to migrate or copy data into yet another application. This change alone ends up saving months of work and probably millions of dollars for most clients. We then enable very broad surveillance techniques and workflows that automatically reveal trends or events in the data, helping to ensure that the assets are operating as they're expected. These methods create enormous time savings for engineers and can improve production by as much as 30 to 40% in certain fields. In this environment, CEOs, engineers, or field technicians all have their view of the data, which they need to support their tasks. It's very simple.
Now, your company has grown considerably in the last few years. What's on the horizon for OVS Group?
Well, we have very high hopes about our prospects, and we're also excited by our ability to scale large clients like Pemex, the national oil company of Mexico, where the majority of Mexico's production is now managed by the OVS framework. Since 2009, we've grown about 35 to 40% annually, and this year we'll maintain that pace as we roll out large deployments for the U.S. shale players and expand on new and existing international projects.
Well, One Virtual Source is a powerful tool indeed. Larry, thanks so much for sharing your thoughts today.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity.
That was Larry Denver, President of OVS Group. You can find out more information about One Virtual Source by visiting ovsgroup.com.